Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets.
Hey guys, I'm working the part. Psych. We're really doing this again. You guys know that 58.9% of you aren't subscribed. Like, what's going on? It's so easy. And look, here's a clip right now if you don't believe me. Anyway, there's going to be a clip the entire part probably. But anyway, you guys are going to have 5 seconds to like, subscribe, and comment down below, done it. If you comment down below, like, subscribe in that 5 seconds, or you have bad luck for the rest of your life. Other than that, I hope you guys do enjoy the video, and yeah, let's get into it. Hey guys, and welcome to part 9 of What If Deku was a true alpha werewolf. I got that new mic, you know. If you're fine, revolutionary technology. And it's so sick. And I love it. And I can't smash this one. Huh. A lot of my mics have flown out a wall before. And I'm actually wearing my old mic headset right now to listen to this. Anyway, yeah. Last time we left off, Deku, and they raced to All Might to save him, like they did before. Deku flew past everyone and barely saved himself. And also the next like goes 125 likes. Actually, you guys didn't even hit the last like goal, did you? I hadn't checked that. I just wanted to get this video made because I was bored. Also, I kind of had to. Oh, I'm gonna let you guys off. It's at 98 likes. I'll let you guys off. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna try to speed through the story a bit. This might be the last episode, or maybe the next will. So I'm gonna try to skip some. Forest training arc. Yep, I kind of skipped a lot. Sorry. They're on the coach, and they started to question each other about their quirks again. And they all go to Deku. What's your quirk? Specify. And Deku says, well, actually I have 2 quirks. They all look confused except for Toga, Bakugo, and Todoroki. And they're like, 2? He's like, yes, one is werewolf, as you know, and my other ones are even stronger strength and speed enhancement. And that was speech like, what? That's insane. And Deku's like, yeah, I know, but that doesn't really matter. The main part of my quirk is I can give other people a werewolf quirk. Weaker than mine, yes, but when I give them to them, I get stronger. And I can use whoever's quirk I gave it to. They all look shocked. And then they look at Bakugo, Todoroki, and Toga. And he's like, and they say, so you can use their quirks? Deku says yes. Bakugo's eyes flash yellow as Deku's eyes flash red, and he creates an explosion in his hand. They're all like, wow, Deku, you're so powerful. But then they arrive. I forgot that little kid's name, sorry. Anyway, Deku walks up to that little kid and introduces himself. And he yet again punches Deku in the balls. Deku doesn't even like shiver, he just takes it like a man and smiles and says, "Oh, you brat. Guess what?
You should have messed with me."
And this causes the kid to shiver, but then he easily plays Deku off. Says, oh, should heroes be threatening kids? And he says, should kids be punching heroes in the balls? And he just storms off. The cat woman runs up to Deku and she's like, you smell weird. You smell like a wolf. And Deku says, you called me, I'm a werewolf. Well, that's my quirk at least. They're all like, I like you. And that blonde one says, I call dibs when he gets 18. Deku blushes a bit until Toga appears with a knife and says, no one touches my Izuku,
or you die.
And they get a bit of a shiver and say, whatever, girl. He's fair game. And Deku says, no, actually, me and Toga are in a relationship. And the Catwoman just pouts. Anyway, she explains their test, and they go into the forest. She didn't explain about the massive monsters though until they appear. When they do, Deku, everyone except for Deku, Todoroki and Bakugo and Toga are all a bit shocked, and they don't know what to do. So Deku just takes charge. Using 50% of one fall, he jumps up and completely destroys one of them with a single punch. They all look at him like he's amazing and must think they're not that hard, until Leader tries to kick him one and he barely does any damage. And they're all like, oh. And then Deku uses Bakugo's quirk and flies up and blasts one of them in the face. And his quirk, and the explosion is stronger than Bakugo's quirk. That's just how it works. Deku's version of it is way stronger, especially thanks to one fall. Then he uses Todoroki and freezes 3 of them in ice and then shatters the ice. Then he burns up 2 others. They all look at him amazed. Then he turns into his wolf form and roars, and it scares 2 of them away. But he isn't letting them go. And
Ready?
sorry guys, I unplugged my mic. Anyway, and he roars at them. And he jumps past them, beheading 2 of them. Deku gets bored of this, and he just tells everyone, okay, he's took out over half of them, have fun. And with one big leap, he flies over the forest and lands in front of Aizawa and the 2 Catwomen. And they're like, wait, what? I can sense that over half of them are gone, and you're covered in a mud a bit, and then you just flew over the forest. Did you leave your teammates? And Deku says, ooh, sorry. And Deku says, I left my pack with them, they'll be fine. And they're like, your pack? And Deku explains his quirk to them, and they're all amazed. And then they all come out the forest about half the time quicker. And they're not even injured at all, as Todoroki, Toga, and Bakugo took care of most of them. And they all scowl at Deku, saying, you left us! And Deku says, I took care of half of them, you would have still been in there if I didn't help you. And they all say, yeah, fine. Anyway, they go to the bath scene, and Mineta does the usual climbing up, and Deku contemplates whether he should chop his leg off, but he shakes his thought out of his head. Then we see the kid up there, and he punches Mineta down, and Mineta lands in the water until that kid falls. As he's falling, he's contemplating how he's about to die, and Deku says, ugh, fine, under his breath, and he jumps up before anyone can even sees him and catches him, and with his claws grabs him to the wall, and he says, do you want to go up or down? The kid says, down, and he passes out. Deku's a bit worried at this point, so he quickly wraps a towel around him and speeds off and gives it to the Catwoman. She thanks him and explains about his parents. Deku suddenly feels a bit bad for what he said to the kid, but he was kind of deserved. You don't punch any random person, no matter the reason. Oh, one sec guys, I'm sliding. Ugh, stop sliding. And oh my god, my chair's sliding. One sec, I'm just gonna have to quickly swing it. Yeah, I swung it, guys. And then he goes to sleep. He wakes up to the alarm, and he gets told villains are attacking. Instead of fear like the usual Deku, he smiles. And he runs out. Before he can even face any of the villains, he finds out that the kid's missing. And with a quick smell, he can smell him, and he says, I'm gonna go get him. Until someone tries to block his path, and with a single 50% smash, they're gone flying. Anyway, Deku goes to one full cow 100%, not using this werewolf yet, and speeds after him. And he gets there just as Muscular was about to punch into him again, as he got there a bit slower, as he actually dealt with some of the villains on the way. He dives past, and before Muscular can barely see him, and grabs the kid. Muscular's like, oh, you're pretty fast, kid, what's your quirk? Deku says, come and find out. Muscular flies towards him, and Deku's a lot stronger than the original, so one of his kicks actually do a lot of damage. Muscular says, your quirk's like mine, except you don't get all the flashy upgrades, do you? Huh, why don't you join me? You can be my little apprentice. And Deku says, no thanks, you haven't even seen the full power of my quirk. I do get some flashy upgrades. Deku turns off One for All and transforms into this werewolf form. Muscular starts laughing and says, you turned off part of your quirk for another. Does that mean you haven't mastered it? And Deku smiles and says, not at all, as he flares some lightning, showing off he can use both. And 1 second, guys, I'm going to stop recording because my sister don't know how to walk. So guys, I'm back. My sister wanted me to go sit with the dog. I said no, and I went to get my dog and brought her upstairs instead. Anyway, where was I? Can't remember. Oh yeah, he's against Muscular. And Muscular says, your quirk's pretty impressive, kid. I can see why you don't want to be my apprentice. How about you be my teammate then? Because the other guys in this league suck. Deku says, oh, so you're with the League of Villains then? So I don't need to hold back. Muscular laughs and says, I like you, kid. You really should consider joining us. And he flies towards Deku, but to his surprise, Deku catches his fist and chucks him back. He tells Koda, that's it, Koda or Kota. Yeah, he tells Kota to stay behind him. As unlike the original, Deku knows he can hold him back. He can even take him easily. Muscular says, well, you're not using your full power, so neither will I. And Deku's like, what? Muscular says, yep, this ain't my full power. And Deku says, fine, if I use my full power, will you? Muscular says, yeah. Deku starts sparking and he says, one for all, 100%. And Muscular says, nice. But I can still sense you're holding back, but I guess you have your reasons. Maybe that destroys your body or something. And then Muscular muscles start growing, but then they get a bit darker as blood flows to them, and they spread across his entire body. And with this, they're ready to fight. Deku jumps towards Muscular, but Muscular blocks the attack until he feels the sheer power of Deku's punch, and he chucks him away. He looks at his arm and drops it. He's like, damn it, kid, you're strong. But you're not stronger than me. He goes to punch Deku, but Deku disappears in a flash and appears behind him with his claws on his neck. And he says, are you sure about that? Do you want to test your theory of whether I can beat you or not? Muscular starts laughing as muscle engulfs his neck. Some of it comes out and punches Deku. Deku goes back flying and he sees Muscular flying towards Kota. And he yells out, one for all, 500%. And in a flash he appears in front of Muscular. Muscular says, you're still holding back, but what is this? And with one kick, he hits Muscular's chin, sending him flying. But he isn't finished anymore. His werewolf side's taking control. And he jumps on top of Muscular and pummels him. The mountain shattering, it's shaking. Everyone can sense his raw power, especially Bakugo. And they all wonder what's made Deku so mad. Until they hear the woman saying that Kota's gone. They then think the worst, thinking that Kota's dead. And with this, they all rush towards them. Until they meet Deku halfway after he's pummeled Muscular into the ground. At this time, all the villains surround them. Deku manages to take most of them on, just keeping the other guys letting them rest. Until he turns around and sees that Bakugo's being held around the throat by that hand guy, his stomach patched up. They're flowing through a portal. And Bakugo's gone. Deku roars and he flies through the portal at insane speeds, activating one for 100%. And when he appears in the villain base, he jumps at Shigaraki until a man with no face wearing a mask appears and punches him hard in the stomach, sending him flying back out through the portal. Before they can even close the portal again, Deku at insane speed just flying back through it, shocking one for all. Deku now knowing what he has to deal with as a punch charge up, and he punches him, his arm, but to no avail. Until his eyes flash yet red, overpowering one for all for a split second, until he can manage to get a kick off on his face. He goes to grab Bakugo, but one for all's using these red tentacles, nearly as it seems. I mean, all for one, sorry. And he stabs Deku and chucks him back out and manages to get the portal shut in time. All for One thinks to himself, what was that kid? He must be All Might's successor. And I guess he had a pretty good quirk before he got One for All. This will be an interesting fight. Deku blames himself for Bakugo being captured until he figures out one thing. He roars. And Bakugo can hear this, but none of the villains can. And Bakugo's eyes flash yellow, bearing his fangs. All for One's wondering why their quirk was so similar, and he questions Bakugo on it. And then he has to use a quirk that makes Bakugo tell the truth. And he's impressed at Deku's quirk. And he thinks, so he has werewolf as a quirk. Interesting. That'll be lovely to steal. Or I just make him bite me. Nah. I am the true #1 villain, and I shall have that quirk. And I will make every villain so powerful that a single one of them can take down All Might. But then he just laughs himself, and Chigaraki's wondering what's going on. And All says, as if I've given someone that much power to take down All Might. Time skip a few days. This is where they have the rescue plan to go and capture Bakugo and get him back. And All Might busts through the wall, and everything goes as it was in the original, except Bakugo just smarters him a bit easier. And Deku does the original plan to get Bakugo. He does it. It goes off fine, and then One for All appears and fights All Might, just like the original. But except when he's watching it this time, Deku knows the predicament All Might's in. I know I said at the start that All Might doesn't have a time limit, but let's just say that he still has a certain one, and he's about to reach his limit as he fought a lot hard against One for All. And as we see that final punch that he did, United States of Smash, he punches One for All and he puts his hand up in the air and says, "You are next." Deku's nearly crying, unlike the original, he doesn't actually cry yet. But then, unlike the original canon, One for All sits up and jumps right. All for One stands up suddenly and jumps towards All Might at insane speeds. All Might didn't know what to do. And Deku just thinks to himself, no, no, no. And he mutters under his breath, One for All, 1000%. And Bakugo's wondering, what? Why is he going to 1000% until he vanishes? And then they see him on TV and he yells down, "Leave All Might alone!" He lets out a roar that scares One, that actually manages to scare All for One. And his punch lands dead on. And One for All feels All for One feels the sudden pain. And he goes flying back. Everyone's wondering why Deku's there. Wait, could he be the one All Might was talking to him? Could he be All Might's successor? It would make sense. He's shown off to have what seems to be 2 quirks. Maybe that's why All Might chose him. He has 2 powerful quirks. And All for One gets up and says, your quirk's useful. Give it to me. And Deku shakes his head and says, no. All for One says, have it your way then. And he attempts to steal Deku's quirk. But what we know that he doesn't is, werewolf isn't a quirk. It's his genetic, it's his heritage. So when he tries to steal it, he can't, as he can't steal One for All and he can't steal werewolf. All for One says, what's going on? And then Deku just laughs and says, I told you you would regret messing with me. Now let's end this once and for all. Anyway guys, I hope you guys did enjoy this part. The next part will be the final, as I don't plan to go into the overhaul arc yet, because this What If isn't that popular yet. Anyway, the like goal is going to be 120 likes in the next part. I got a bit close to my mic there, sorry. And share with your friends and family. Let's try to get 6k. If we do, that'll be a madness. Other than that guys, hope you enjoyed and love you guys. Peace out.